Good morning, students. Welcome to the history class. My name is Sabu. Today I am going to start the second chapter, Growth of Nationalism. There are several factors which led to the growth of nationalism in India. Before going to explain that, I will tell you what is meant by nationalism. Nationalism refers to a feeling of oneness and common consciousness to the people living in a same territory because of their historical, political and cultural background are the same. They themselves consider as one nation. In the past, India was not considered as a nation. Historically, there were many kings and kingdoms in India. At times, a large portions of this area came under the rule of one empire. But the loyalty of the people was towards a particular king or the kingdom, not towards the nation. The modern feeling of nationalism came to India during the time of British, because the British misruled the country and made the people's life suffering. That is why the people began to think that they belong to a particular nation and they have to resist the British rule in India. The next topic that I am going to explain is the factors related to the growth of national movement in India. The first is that economic exploitation, but this topic has been omitted from the 2022 examination by the council. So you need not study this nor write. But I am explaining this only for the knowledge purpose. So yes, merely reading is needed from your side. So let us see that which are the subheading comes under this topic. The main subheading comes under this topic are peasants, artisans and craftsmen, working class and educated Indians. The first is known as peasants. Peasants means farmers. We know that the peasants are considered as the backbone of any economy. But during the time of British, they took away a large produce of farmers in the name of land revenue and taxes. So the lives of the farmers very poor and pathetic. And another factor is that artisans and craftsmen. Before the arrival of British, Indian craft industries enjoyed a good market in and abroad. So the life of craftsmen was far better that time. But after the arrival of British, they systematically destroyed Indian craft industries for having a market for their produce in India. And another factor is working class. With the growth of industries set up by the British in India, there emerged a new working class, or there emerged a new social group. They are known as the working class. And this working class were given very less salary by the British. So they also hated the British rule. And another factor is educated Indians. We know that during the time of British, the only one source of employment was the government job. But getting government job was very difficult because there was a high competition and a very rare chance of promotion. Educated Indians thought that the British would set up many industries in India as they have done in Britain. But from their side, they did not set up many industries in India. So the educated Indians also hated the British rule. The next I am going to explain second factors that related to the growth of nationalism in India. And this point is repressive colonial policies but this topic has been omitted by the council for the 2022 examination. So you need not to study this, no, right? I am explaining this only for the knowledge purpose. So let us see that what are the oppressive policy followed by the British. And this is mainly happened during the time of Lord Lytton as the Viceroy of India. He served as the Viceroy of India from 1876 to 1880. And during his time, he introduced many controversial programs and followed many policies. One among them is the celebration of Queen Victoria as the Empress of India. So that he had done 1877 during a time when India was facing famine and starvation, and people were suffering everywhere in India. From the side of the British, they did not support the Indians. Instead, Lord Lytton spent lakhs of rupees for the celebration to declare Queen Victoria as the Empress of India. And another policy followed by him is that Vernacular Press Act 1878. This means that Indian press freedom were curtailed. They were not allowed to publish any articles that cause any dissatisfaction to the British, and later this act was withdrawn. And another controversial act is known as Indian Arms Act 1878. Indians were not allowed to possess nor carry any weapons, but the British can do this. And another controversial policy is known as Civil Service Exam Age. Earlier, for the Indians to attending Civil Service Exam age limit was 21, but that was reduced from 21 to 19. But that was very difficult for the Indians, because after 12th, 3 years graduation is needed, but one who completed the graduation cannot attend the Civil Service exam. So that was also another controversial policies. And another is the last one is known as Ilbert Bill. C.P. Ilbert was the law member of Viceroy. He introduced a new law. According to this new law, if Europeans or any British in India commit any offence, they can be tried by the Indian judges too. But the British felt that they have special privileges. They cannot be tried by the Indian judges, and so they opposed this. And later this bill was withdrawn. Now Indians realized that the British follows a policy of racial attitude towards Indians. The next topic that I am going to explain, which are responsible for the growth of nationalism in India, is the socio-religious reform movement. These points are very, very important. This will be asked in the examination, so you have to study this. In fact, it was the socio-religious movement led to the growth of nationalism in India. The educated Indians felt that there are many social and religious evils exist in their religion and in the society. So they thought that they have to reform these evils prevailing in the society. So which are the evils are noted by the so-called educated Indians? According to them, there are many evils exist in the society. They are, first one is that the caste system, then child marriage, dowry system, parda system, sadi and infanticide. Infanticide means killing small kids. Means in those times, if the newly born child is a female, parents usually to kill that. And this type of evils must be checked and corrected. That is why they formed many associations and samajas. Then who are the prominent leaders of these samajas and heads? Let us see that. The first is that Rajaram Mohan Roy, he established Brahma Samaj, and another is known as Swami Dayananda Saraswati. He established Arya Samaj. Next, Swami Vivekananda started Ramakrishna Mission. Jodhirao Phule started Satyadosha Samaj. So these are the main prominent figures, and the social movement started by them. First of all, I am going to explain Rajaram Mohan Roy. He was a great social and a religious reformer of the 19th century. He wanted to get rid of many social evils prevailed in West Bengal. He was a great humanist. He wanted the unity of all the religions. He was highly educated, and he has deep knowledge of almost all the matters. And he learned Sanskrit, Hindu philosophy, and he learned Quran, Persian, and Arabic literature. He also learned Bible in its original form. And he also believed in monotheism, means believe in one God and avoid belief in several gods. He also established Atmiya Sabha. The main purpose of this Sabha is to follow belief in one God and avoid unnecessary religious rituals and avoid worshipping of idols. Then again, Rajaram Mohan Roy established Brahma Sabha. Later it was renamed into Brahma Samaj. And this Sabha believed in monotheism, means believe in one God. And again it is condemned idol worship, and it is also laid on emphasis on prayer, meditation, and charity. These are the points on which this Brahma Sabha gave importance. Now let us check what are the social reforms carried out by Rajaram Mohan Roy. There are many are there, but here a list is given that I will explain to you. First is that he opposed the caste system, and he opposed the practicing of sati and parda system. He was against the practicing of sati and parda. And in essence that he discouraged child marriage. In those times, even children are married off, so that also he opposed. And in essence that he condemned polygamy, means the practice of having more than one wife, that also opposed by him. And in essence that he supported widows remarriage, means he believed that the widows has the right to marry, so that also advocated by him. Let us see that in which are the other areas Rajaram Mohan Roy worked. He is considered as the pioneer of Indian journalism. Pioneer means beginner of Indian journalism. He brought out a number of journals in Bengali, in Hindi, English, and in Persian language. The main purpose of bringing out all these journals is to create political awareness, literary knowledge among the public. Then they can express their opinions, means public opinions, and they can also bring their grievances before the authorities. So that was the main aim of his to bringing out all these journals. And the other areas in which he worked is as the public agitator, means he is considered as the initiator of public agitation. Means he demanded the abolition of trading rights given to the East India Company, and he also demanded the abolition of export duty on Indian goods. Means if a high duty is imposed on the export of Indian goods, that will become very costly out of India, and its demand will decrease, and there won't have any purchaser for the goods. So that also he opposed. And next is like the separation of judiciary from the executive. And another area in which he demanded is that an equality is needed in the judiciary for the Indians and Europeans, and the Indianization of services. So these are the other areas in which he worked. Let us see that how the Rajaram Mohan Roy is concerned. Later years in India, we can borrow the words of Rabindranath Tagore. According to Rabindranath Tagore, Rajaram Mohan Roy inaugurated the modern age in India. And in next is that he is considered as the father of Renaissance. So these are the words of Rabindranath Tagore. And he is considered as the prophet of Indian nationalism. Like this, Rajaram Mohan Roy is appreciated and praised by Rabindranath Tagore. With this, today's video has been completed. Almost see this and give more importance to the social religious movement, because the topic is starting from there, and I will come with another video in the next class. Thank you.